Head coach Alan Knipe and student athletes Jordan Molina and TJ DeFalco. We will open up with a statement from head coach Alan Knipe and then open it up to questions to the group. And as in the morning press conferences, please raise your hand and then we will bring the mic to you to make sure that you're recorded for the video. Take it away, Coach.
Yeah, well, obviously we're excited to be here, and we're excited to be here at our own place. It should be a great week. It already has started off to be a great week. Some good matches already, and some great teams in the Final Four. So, it's been an exciting season for men's volleyball. There's been some incredible matches and some incredible support and crowds, and I don't know. I've been doing this a little while. I don't know if I've ever seen this kind of excitement, and definitely the crowd turnout, back-to-back matches here, and our match in Hawaii, and a whole bunch of other matches. I know we played at Santa Barbara in a real big crowd. We played at Poly with a real big crowd. So I just like what's happening to our sport right now. There's so many good things happening, and so many good teams, and so many good young coaches coaching up their teams, and so we feel grateful to be here. We're happy to be here, and we're excited to get started.
All right, Mike.
DJ, Jordan, you guys have been, played, we couldn't even count the number of points you guys have played here. I saw the team sort of huddled over by the red entrance in the pyramid, enjoying watching the NCAA tournament together in your guys' own place. How cool is that to end your college careers, getting to host this kind of an event you're in your locker room, you get to be in your building?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a bittersweet moment, knowing that it's our last year, but we get to spend it here in the pyramid. So that makes it even the sweeter moment there. I think it's amazing that we get to play in our own gym for for potentially a national title. And I think I could say the same thing for everyone else.
Adam.
TJ, Jordan, there's always going to be noise about could the number 1 and number 2 team play in the finals. How do you tune that out and just focus on tomorrow's match?
Yeah, we have a mentality that we keep pressing to perfect it here. We worry about our next match only. There's a certain point in time where you're going to have to kind of focus on the next team in a certain situation, but right now it's just about our next match, and our next match is our most important match.
Vinny?
For TJ and Jordan, question for both of you. Obviously, this is your 4th NCAA tournament that you've been at, but this is the final one in your college career. So is it a little bit more challenging this year with thoughts of what's happening next after this week when you guys are finished up at Long Beach?
I'd say no, just because of what I just said. The only thing we're worried about right now is our next match, our next practice, winning to win the next time we're getting to touch the ball. And I think if we keep that mindset steady, then we'll be fine.
Brian.
How amped are you guys just to get back out there? It's been a while since you guys have played. Just what's the excitement for you guys?
Well, I think that, of course, you want to get back out there, but this is part of the process right now, the way our tournament is set up. It was the same structure we had last year, and we pride ourselves on prepping for a lot of different things. So I think we prepped well during the week. I think we prepped well during the season, that there would be a break and have to shut it down and start up again. Our guys are super excited. I think that as a head coach, what you want is to see your guys a little edgy by this time. Like let's see somebody else, right? And let's go out and let's play some volleyball. And we're definitely at that point. It's like the pent up horses at the gate. We need to get out and play some volleyball again, and that's exciting. But we did do some fun things. We had a black and gold game last Friday, and obviously that's an inter-squad game for us, and it's been a really enjoyable prep leading into the week, and a lot of good work. So I think everybody, including the volleyball community and the people, hopefully it'll be in an overflow watching on video boards behind the pyramid, will be excited to watch the matches as well.
TJ and Jordan, looking at your opponent, Pepperdine David Wyzork, obviously having a fantastic season. Can you talk about what you've seen from him on film that makes him so difficult to defend against?
Well, getting to watch the match last night in person and having been played Pepperdine for a couple of years now, he's turned out to be a fantastic player. He does a bunch of things really well, and that's what's going to make him tough to defend against. But I think if we take the mindset towards playing our game of volleyball, and kind of how does that morph into our system, I think we'll be just fine.
Alan, obviously, great history between Long Beach State and Pepperdine, a lot of matches. Can you comment on that a little bit, and then just maybe a little bit more about what you see from them and the challenges that they pose for you guys?
Yeah, it's a great program. Obviously, always been incredibly well coached and prepared for matches, and that hasn't changed with David. David's one of the great young coaches in our game, and we expect them to come in. We have a tremendous amount of respect for them to be prepared and motivated to play. So, but then there's at this point in the season, with zero disrespect to Pepperdine, whoever you're going to see, I would hope is going to be a tremendous match. A year ago in this situation, we were playing Ohio State, the two-time defending national champs, and played overtime sets with them. That's that's what you get, and that's what we should get, and that's what we should be showing as our Final Four. So, Pepperdine is the draw we get, ton of respect, and we expect a really, really good match.
Coach, I want to ask you about Pepperdine. This is the first time this season you've been able to play them. So two-part question. One, no scheduling is always tough, but were you disappointed not getting to have a non-conference match against them this year? And then number two, how different is it preparing for an opponent that you haven't faced this season?
Well, it's not really that different. I mean, like at some point you have to prepare for everybody that you haven't seen at some point, right? You get a couple of guys in league and maybe a couple of non-conference games that you see home and away that you get to prepare a second time for. It's just the way the scheduling works out. With you're not going to get everybody in the MPSF, or we're not going to get anybody outside it, and that's the good thing that happened when the split from the Big West happened, is that you're seeing all these cross-country rivalries and cross-region rivalries, and it's been good for the game. So, yeah, I don't think it has a whole lot to do with it. Both teams in the exact same situation. We haven't seen each other in person. We have a catalog of information on each other, and it's going to come down to executing volleyball.
TJ, Jordan, I know you guys watch a lot of video. You're very analytical in the way you guys prepare for opponents. What is the difference between the information you get from film study and breakdown versus playing a team actually in person?
Yeah, the whole thing of a scouting report is that it creates themes over time, over a certain number of matches that that teams do over time and go back to over time. But playing them in person, there may be some adjustments made, either in person or from the last match of preparation to play us. There's different things that teams do, and so it's kind of a feel versus real in the situation. Watching video, you kind of see what's going on and you have an understanding for that, but in the match it could be completely different. And so we just got to kind of learn and adapt, but then over time we know that most things that we have in the scouting report will come back to being true.
TJ, final question for me, and I'll end on a lighter note. We talked last year, you were talking about how one of the things you like to do to relax from volleyball is play Fortnite. So I want to ask, how's your Fortnite game improved the past year?
No, I haven't been really playing very much. This has been a very important season to me.
We'll circle back, Jordan. What do you get out of the scouting video versus seeing somebody in person?
No, I completely agree with TJ there, where sometimes it's that feel versus real. Sometimes teams may do something differently just because it's against a different opponent. And so that's just that, again, trying to make adjustments in the middle of a match and having that ability to be adaptable. So there's that.
All right, perfect. Thank you, gentlemen. Best of luck tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks. Thank you, everyone.